Yeah.
Hey yo, man, it's your time. Man, fuck poverty. Get this money, man. What the fuck you gotta do? You know what I'm saying?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Phil and Leroy, the Judgmental Podcast.
What's up, everybody? This is Phil back in the house.
And I'm Leroy. So, what's going on, Phil?
Nothing much, chilling. Shitty ass weekend like always.
Why? Because of the weather? Or what?
Yeah, the weather.
Oh, okay.
I took Ava to see Mario Brothers yesterday. It was all rainy and crappy.
Now, how was it? Or you want to wait till a movie and TV talk?
Okay.
Because I wanted to know how that is. Because I heard it got some bad reviews. The guy on Film Punch, it's a guy that on Film Punch. He follow us on Instagram. He does movie reviews. They're like 5 minutes, real quick movie reviews. And it seems like he wasn't that really knowledgeable on Mario Brothers. I guess he's around, by the looks of him, he looked like he's in his 20s, maybe late 20s. So he didn't grow up, Nintendo and all that stuff. So he gave it kind of seemed like he didn't really know much about the characters, but since you do, I want to know your opinion. We can talk about that at the movie and TV talk.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's the third time in a row Leroy completed the Blue Cross Blue Shield Broad Street Run. It's a 10 miler, and
Damn,
boy,
10 miles.
I got so many damn complaints. Well, number one, I think I left here late. I don't know what time I left last year, but this time I left at 6 o'clock. So 6 o'clock, I got there around. It don't take that long to get to the stadium, so I got there around maybe 6:20. So 6:20, I got in the parking lot. Got on the Broad Street line. That took like another 20 minutes. Getting off, it was such a bottleneck. Oh, and that's another thing too. It was a whole lot of people this year. It was a damn near double than it was last year. So then we had to sit and wait to get up the steps at the Albany station. So got up at
That many people?
Yes.
Damn.
By the time I did all that, it was like 7:15. So of course, when I got there, I got to stand in line for the bathroom. And by the time I used the bathroom, it was about, well, of course, I was in the back of the line again. Rosa Parks, back in the damn line again. So by the time I got done with the bathroom, it was like 8:20. So I just walked. We didn't move yet. So I just got in line and I just ran. But there's one thing I gotta say, human beings, what the fuck do these human beings be eating? Because you look at the toilet and like the things you see in the toilet, that cannot come from a human being. And then I see little pellets of shit. Who's shitting like that with these little teeny pellets? I'm disgusted. And they have to do something with a bathroom because it's not. They need to put more porta potties there because if you want to double the size amount of people, you have to double the size amounts of porta potties. What was you about to say?
No, I said you're funny because you disgusted about the pellets. Like, who gives a shit is shit? You should be disgusted that you got to look at other people's shit.
Well, that too, and the smell, of course, and the smell like.
So you talking about all porta johns though, right?
Pretty much, but this Porta John with these, I don't know if they training. These are athletes and they training and they shit like pellets. Like, what the hell is this?
Man, look, I don't want to hear nothing about your complaints in porta johns. Me being in the military for 20 years, I've seen the worst porta johns known to man.
Okay, so you in agreement then? What the hell is these human beings is eating?
No, I don't worry about what they're eating. I'm just mad that it's not properly clean. Like, I'm talking about shit. Our porta johns, some of our porta johns on different ranges and in the woods, they ain't been clean in years, and there's fucking flies and shit, everything in it. So if you sit down, the bugs will be fucking tickling your ass. And then
wait a minute, pause. You actually sit on a porta potty?
I don't.
Oh,
but
okay.
I said if you did. I said if you did. No.
What the hell?
I'm talking about like I listened to some of the other dudes talk about the porta john, this and that. Like if I gotta piss, I'll just piss in the woods before I use a porta john. But they'll talk about like a lot of times military food run through you, so you fucked up. So a lot of times I like you'll if you training, you'll get like a hot meal for breakfast, and then for lunch you'll get like an MRE or some bullshit slop, and that bullshit MRE or that slop is what runs right through you. So shit, by after you eat that for lunch, you be in the bathroom like 10 minutes later, and all it'd be a long line at the Porta John. So I usually bypass the lunch. So I'll eat like the warm breakfast, then we'll go down to the range or the field or whatever. Then I'll have like snacks with me. I used to have them little packs of tuna and crackers and shit like that.
Right.
So I have like all those type of joints with me, and I'll bust those open, and then let the snacks hold me down until I get back to the rear where I can get like a fucking proper toilet, a fucking nice hot meal.
Hmm.
But they used to tell you you'll see guys standing in line with a stick in their hand. You know why they got a stick in their hand?
The hold door so they
No,
won't have
no,
to
no,
touch it.
no, no. You wish that was the reason. To knock the polished shit down, so when they sit on the toilet, it's not real close to
Oh
you.
no,
Yes,
no.
yes, that's how bad it is. So don't complain about what you had to go through.
Well, I can still complain about it.
Well, I guess you can, yeah, but shit, it's worse in the military.
Well, yeah, they have to double the porta potties. That's number one. And number two, like I said, it was a lot of people out there. And shout out to you for your little sneak diss too, by the way, about how I
What
was middle of the road. You
you
could
was?
you barely can get a stride in. You barely could get a stride in, because it was so crowded. You had to run on the sidewalk, and you have to keep in mind I'm in the back, so that's me like
So
beating
that's not
everybody.
so. So that's not a diss though, because if it's 2,000 people and you came in the thousandth place, that's middle of the pack.
No,
You ain't the
they
worst and you ain't the
no
best. You in the middle. That's cool.
no, you was sneak dissing.
No, it wasn't. If I was sneak this, and I would just said you ran shitty today. What happened? I ain't say that.
That wouldn't be a sneak diss. That's just a full fledged
Well,
diss.
that's what I would have did. I wouldn't have had to sneak it. I said middle of the pack because when you look at the total of runners and all of the categories that you sent me that you qualified for, you was kind of like in the middle of the pack, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. And that another thing people do. Okay, it was raining outside, so they had ponchos. They would take their ponchos off and throw it in the street where people are running at. Now, just in a way so somebody can step over it and slip and fall and bust their ass.
Why?
Oh, they was doing it all the time. I done seen so many doing ponchos laying in the street.
Now, what about the runners? Did y'all have ponchos anything on or no?
Well, going back to that text messages I sent you. I had a poncho. I got one of those dollar ponchos from the dollar store like 3 years ago. I just never used them. And I took the one that I didn't use and put it in my pocket. And I seen the same ponchos on the street being sold for $5. I said, boy, I can't get mad at them. Go on and get your hustle on. That's a hell of a jump if you bought a dollar poncho and you selling them for 5.
Hey, when there's in demand, you call the price.
And they said, yeah, we got Cash App, Venmo. I was like, oh shit. Shout out to them. No, you had to bring. I think a lot of people had like Channel 10 ponchos.
Hmm.
I don't know if they was giving those out or not, but I had my own. Uh, that and then they did that. Another thing people do, because like I said, it was a lot of people out there. Another thing they do is they'll run. They'll be running real fast, and all of a sudden they'll stop and walk. Like the damn
Hmm.
with the people that's behind you. So I can run right into you. We run right into each other. Suppose I'm like, I don't know, messing with my phone or something, or messing with music or something, and I'm not really paying attention like what's in front of me. And this person stops and start walking, I'm gonna run right into him. So
And
you
see,
had go
yeah,
ahead.
no. When I was learning running groups like that through the military, the thing was, and we did a lot of that shit too, where motherfuckers would stop. So they came up with a thing where if you gotta slow down and you gotta stop, you gotta go all the way to the edge. You gotta get out of the way of the runners.
Right. Yeah, that's what you should be doing. Like you could just like go to the on the sidewalk and just get your walk on. Or go, like you said, or go to the edge. They'll be running full speed. Then all of a sudden they'll just stop and just start walking.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had to go through that too. The rain wasn't really a bother. I put my poncho on. This is the only time I like really stopped to put my poncho on. I was like around Temple Hospital, I think it was. No, it was more in the university area. I put my poncho on there. I really didn't need it, but because it wasn't raining hard until I was done.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, it was a lot of people, and it was a point where we had to make a curve. We had to make a turn to get into the there's a street. I don't know the name of the street that's at Lincoln Financial. It's like a little small street.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little curve there we had to turn into. Man, there was so many people over there. We had to get our walk on there. And that was towards the end. And a little damper on the race. I saw somebody. I was running, and I was like, "Dang, that's good." I ain't see nobody fall out. I ain't see nobody grabbing their ankle or nothing like that. Towards the end of the race, there was a guy laying on the ground, and they were doing chest compressions on him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, and I'm like, damn. I just said that to myself, like, damn, I ain't seen nobody fall out or grabbing their ankle. I ain't seen nobody on a gurney or anything. And here they go. As soon as we made that curve and we was we was running to the straightaway, they was on the ground giving this guy chest compressions. It was like I say four aides there. I don't know if you want to call them EMTs. I don't really
Mm-hmm.
didn't know what they were. Like four aides there, and there was another aide that was like blocking, trying to block us from seeing him.
Mm-hmm.
But it was clear as day. He was like just laying on the ground, and they was just giving him chest compressions. So I hope he all right.
Damn, maybe we'll see something on the news.
Yeah, I hope he was all right. But another complaint. Uh, when we at the end, they at the end they give you your medals and they give you like food, potato chips and these tasty cake cookie bars
Mm-hmm.
and a water, of course. It was spring water. It wasn't filtered. It wasn't filtered water. It was spring water. And what else? It was potato chips. Yeah, it was just potato chips, a banana cookie bar, and water.
Mm-hmm.
They need to give us bags because I like to stuff my bag with stuff,
Of
and
course you do.
they said the hell with that. So with no bags and everything, I had to carry it out. Another complaint I have is getting out of that damn parking lot. So I was done. I was done maybe about 10:20.
Mm-hmm.
I sat in the damn parking lot. Now this is the parking lot. The parking lot for damn 20 minutes.
Mm.
Then we had to drove home. Traffic was a complete mess. And once I got on the Platte Bridge that way because the other way was they stopped traffic there. The cops was blocking it. So the only way I can get back over here was through the Platte Bridge, highway way, not
Mm-hmm.
um. So once I hit there, we was cool with that. That's when the traffic died down. But boy, it was just so many people out there, and it was a nightmare getting out of that parking lot. And they have to. It was almost seemed like it's kind of like it was organized, but wasn't organized fully.
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing. But yeah, they got to work on that damn this bathroom situation.
How long was the run? Like, in time wise, from when you started, like, how long did it take you to come back in
Uh,
and
j- just
and
me
everything be
or
done? Like, you got your results and everything.
oh shit. Well, your results. They have that code on the bib, and everything is computerized, so
Mm-hmm.
you could just scan it and get your number. They don't give you your number or anything.
Okay.
But once you sit, like I said, we had to stand in that. You have to go through the way that I told you to get the water and all that stuff and the
Mm-hmm.
banana. You have to go that way. There's no kind of way you can avoid it. So all in all, that took damn near half an hour. It was
Okay.
just that many people there.
So from when the starting point where you at,
Mm-hmm.
when you started from there, how long did it take you to get back to that point?
Um, About my time was completed was 1 hour and 19. Now that's the
Mm-hmm.
time of the race. So
Right.
you add on you add on what 20 minutes. Matter of fact,
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes is about right. It's more than that, but you
So
let's just say
almost two
20 minutes.
hours.
Pretty much, yep. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, they have to work on that next year with the bathroom and all that stuff. It was a whole lot of people out there, a whole lot of people, and your mom wasn't out there too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was raining, so yeah,
While you checked over there to see if she was out there.
yeah. I was running on that side, the
Oh,
side of
okay.
her street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, some news to talk about. Now we going to Philly. We normally don't really do much Philly stories though, but we have 35-year-old Grover Cleveland Masteries Charter School teacher Julia Jean was killed by a hitman hired by a woman who dated her boyfriend. Here's the video. Here's the video of them talking about the people that's being charged.
From the heart of Philly, this is CBS News Philadelphia, and today a local...
Can you see that?
Yes.
And here?
It's good.
All right, let me go back.
This is CBS News Philadelphia, and today a local DA was at a
I've
loss
seen a
for
lot of
words.
horrible and even horrific homicides, evil homicides, in my nearly 30 years of doing this as a prosecutor. And suffice it to say, I'm struggling with this one.
Rachel King, a beloved teacher and mother, shot to death in front of her son in a Dunkin' drive-thru. Authorities say the shooter was a hitman hired by a romantic rival.
This is your News at 5, and we continue to stream live on CBSPhiladelphia.com. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
I'm Jessica Cartalia. It has been nearly 2 weeks to the day that Rachel King was killed.
Her murder shocked the students she taught and the community where she lived. The Montgomery County DA announced today he is personally prosecuting this case.
Nikki Dementri was there as the DA announced 2 people are now facing charges, and her parents vowed that they will be there.
So, do the DA pick and choose on who does who they prosecute?
Yes.
Okay, is that kind of do you think that's right or
No.
okay?
Every step.
Go ahead.
No, I think the way they do it is they think they prosecute the ones that they got a strong case of conviction, and the other ones they don't think it's like enough evidence, they'll leave those alone.
Okay. So changing the scoreboard, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Of this case.
It was a cold-blooded killing, a targeted murder of an innocent person.
Montgomery County prosecutors say 34-year-old Julie Jean and 33.
She 35.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
3-year-old Zaki Stephen Alakim are behind the shooting death of Rachel King. The 35-year-old mother and teacher was killed at a Cheltenham Dunkin' on April 11th while sitting in the front seat of her car, her son in the back seat.
We got a road to justice ahead of us, and
So we say fuck them kids, huh? We supposed to care about the kids today, but they do a hit with the kid in the car.
Yep.
and he's a part of it,
And she's a mother.
and that's going to be difficult.
King's parents spoke briefly at a Wednesday press conference in Norristown, thanking prosecutors, detectives, and the community for their persistence and support.
Our hearts are hurting, but we also believe this in time they will be healed and we will move forward with our grandson, Jalen.
Montgomery County District Attorney Kevin Steele says Jean and Alakim didn't know King. At one point, Steele says Jean had an affair with King's boyfriend and began harassing the two after King's boyfriend ended it. Alakim, prosecutors say, is...
Now, my thing is, was my man doing some pillow talking? Because how did that woman know where the girl worked at?
Definitely was. He was definitely giving up some information.
Exactly, yeah. Like, how in the world that she knew where she worked at and she was calling the school harassing her?
Yep.
It's related to the
And knew where she lived at and everything.
father of Jean's children.
We want justice done. We want it done swiftly. We want it done accurately. And we want it done fairly.
Prosecutors say evidence, including this map showing King's home saved to Alakim's phone, is part of the planning by the two since February. Another piece includes the silver Mercury Sable seen leaving the Dunkin'. Steele says was purchased by the two and in Jean's name. That car was also seen at another murder scene.
So that's his payoff for Mercury Saber. And what is this, like a early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s?
This motherfucker got a map of X marked the spot to her house from his crib, and they want to sit there talking about he a hitman.
Yeah, exactly. And the fool, I don't think they covers this on this report. That fool killed somebody with the same gun like a couple of days before he killed this woman. But that's a hitman. You do a murder and you hold on to a gun like that.
Same car.
Yeah, with the same car too. Yeah.
In Philadelphia 4 days before King's death, Al-Hakim is facing murder charges in both cases.
As a family of believers in Christ Jesus, we believe that vengeance does belong to God.
Steele adds the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network machine matched casings recovered at both the Philadelphia and Cheltenham scenes to the same weapon. Although not recovered, Steele says the ghost gun matches this photo found on Al-Hakim's phone.
I've seen a lot of
and then he takes a picture of the gun.
horrible and even horrific homicides, evil homicides. In my nearly 30 years of doing this as a prosecutor, and suffice it to say, I'm struggling with this one.
Both Jean and Al-Hakim are behind bars. Jean is here in Montgomery County where she was arraigned. Al-Hakim is being held in Philadelphia. His arraignment is Thursday. In Norristown, Nikki Demetri, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Now, I hate to laugh, but now the payment for killing this woman was a Mercury Sabre, a late 90s, early 2000s Mercury Sabre. But you think that he asked for a little piece of her, right? maybe it looked good from the neck down.
I think they said he's the cousin of one of her baby dads.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, what the hell is he getting involved in her bullshit for?
I don't
fucking
know.
Idiot. And what is he getting out of this old ass fucking car? Yeah, right.
Hey, so she said, "I'll break you off.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'll break you off and buy you a car."
That car, they probably already had that car. She probably gave him the car and gave him the draws.
Mm-hmm. Boy, it must have been worth it. I don't know. Like I say, it must look good from the neck down. But these are two idiots. I tell you, when people do these crimes, they're not really all that bright. Like we was talking about the dude in Memphis that shot that lady shot him in self-defense that was trying to rob her. These criminals are not bright at all. And I think my man here, the boyfriend, I'm thinking he was selling our girl a dream. Like, yeah, I'm gonna leave her and get with you.
Well, see, that's what I told Shay. I said he wasn't fooling around on this girl. He had two girlfriends.
Right.
Lying back and forth because he was with the one girl for a year and the other girl for 4 years.
Yep.
That's a whole relationship. They ain't no cheating.
No. And he was selling her a dream. Like, yeah, man, I want to get away from her. Oh, man, she get on my nerves. Let me tell you what happened today. Because how in the hell, he had to do some serious talking for that girl to know that she worked at a school and where she lived at. And you see how they said that they were scoping her out and they knew like all her movements and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How would she know that? So he's responsible too. Well, he ain't gonna get charged with anything. He didn't commit a crime, but he's responsible for starting all this shit anyway.
Yep.
Well, here we go. We have the parents talking how Faith is going to get them through this.
We are hearing from Rachel King's parents tonight. They sat down with our Carrie Corrado.
As new details emerge, I spoke with Rachel King's parents, and while talking to them, I could see the strength and faith they had following their daughter's death.
I want to do God's will. And he calls us to forgive.
Alan and Carol King showing strength as they...
Black people, stop with this forgiving shit. Only black people always talk like that.
Yep.
If it was me, I would say I want both of them punished to an extent. And Bobby, the hell with him too. I don't know his name. I'm just gonna call him Bobby. I'm gonna say Bobby, the hell with him too, because he started all this shit.
Yeah, I would have said the same thing, but I wouldn't have said to the extent and all that shit. I'd have said I want them buried in jail and never get out, never see the daylight. I'd have made it seem like that.
Mm-hmm. And Bobby, you can go to hell too, because you the one started this. You can't control yourself. You messing around with two damn women like that. Come on, black people, stop with this forgiving shit. Only black people get on TV talking about how they forgiving somebody.
Speak about their daughter Rachel after she was shot and killed in a Dunkin' drive-thru in Cheltenham after a months-long plot. Her son was in the back seat.
When we told him his mother had passed and she had died, he cried and he cried in our arms with his aunt. And when he finally stopped crying, he said, "My mommy didn't deserve to die like that."
Investigators say they found the two people responsible for what they call an apparent murder for hire. Rachel's mom remembers the moment police told her that her daughter was killed.
I did not think until later when the story began to evolve that someone purposely killed her. I didn't think.
I did. I said that didn't sound right. When I first saw it, when I first heard about it, I said, this don't sound right. So
yeah, I thought when it first came out, because they was putting pieces together, they didn't really give us the full story. So I thought maybe it was like road rage or something, because then that way somebody would just come up to you and shoot you after you done did some shit to them like that.
Right. Because pretty much what you're saying, ain't nobody going to get shot like that in the Dunkin' Donuts if something wasn't going on, like you say, either the road rage or something more to it. Because I heard it, and I said, "Oh, this don't sound right."
I think that.
King was a teacher at Grover Cleveland Elementary School in the Tioga section of Philadelphia. Her parents say she was passionate, funny, very caring, and giving.
She was a wonderful teacher, an educator. She wanted to make sure her students got all that they deserved.
Her parents say they are not looking back and focusing on moving forward with the help of their faith.
I don't need every single detail of what took place. I know enough. On the 9th of April, Monday, April 10th, I went to sleep with 5 adult children, 3 sons and 2 daughters. On the morning of Tuesday, April 11th, I was awakened by a phone call telling me my daughter had been shot.
The family says they are so grateful for all of the support from churches, the schools, and the entire community. Coming up at 11, I'll have more on the parents' message. Carrie Corrado, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Shout out to the parents. They staying strong, but I sure hope they get that boy some counseling. And when I say counseling, I ain't talking about the reverend or the pastor.
Right.
Go ahead. What you about to say?
And I was going to say, and the female's got to be smarter too, because once she saw that this guy had a whole relationship for a year with this other chick, she should have washed her hands and been done with his whole ass and the whole, especially with the psycho threatening you and doing all this shit. You should have been like, you know what? I'm done with all that bullshit. If she want him, she can have him, and then she still be alive, because she wouldn't have no reason to get out the picture. Leave that dude alone if he wasn't shit.
Right, because after the girl was like calling her and harassing her at her job, she should have cut her ties like that. Like, oh no, I don't have to go through this.
Exactly.
That's embarrassing, having to go through that shit like that on your job.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's another report of the parents again. They said they just get going day by day.
But first tonight, 2 people have been arrested in the murder of a mother shot in the drive-thru of a local Dunkin'. As we learn about the chilling details tonight, the parents of Rachel King share their grief and their hope for the future. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
I'm Jessica Cartalia. Prosecutors say a romantic rival.
Does them standing up there, that make them seem like they're I hate to laugh because it's a serious report. But why do they have to stand up? Why they can't sit down like everybody else?
Who, the news guys?
Yes. They stand up like this through the whole broadcast too, by the way. They never sit down.
Plotted Rachel King's murder. They say 34-year-old Julie Jean had an affair with King's boyfriend. When he ended it, police say that Jean planned to kill King with the help of this man, Zaki Al-Kahim. Investigators say that Jean bought the silver car seen at the Cheltenham Dunkin' where Rachel King was killed. Authorities believe that Al-Hakim also used that car in a murder in Philadelphia just 4 days before she was murdered. Both Jean and Al-Hakim are behind bars tonight.
I've seen a lot of horrible and even horrific homicides, evil homicides, in my nearly 30 years of doing this as a prosecutor. And suffice it to say, I'm struggling with this one.
It has been a painful journey for Rachel King's family. Her parents sat down with our Carrie Corrado.
I spoke with Rachel King's parents. They say they are taking it day by day. They say the death of their daughter felt like a bad dream, and the moment they found out, their world stopped.
I want to do God's will. And he calls us to forgive.
He said it twice. Well, it's the same interview. But please stop with this forgiving shit. Please.
Powerful words from Alan and Carol King. Their daughter Rachel was shot and killed in a Dunkin' drive-thru in Cheltenham after a months-long plot. They say their faith is what's helping them find strength in this difficult time.
I would have lost my mind 2 weeks ago. It's only the power of the living God keeping me.
Rachel King's son was in the back seat at the time of the shooting, and her parents say he is getting support for the trauma.
He said, my mommy didn't deserve to die like that.
Investigators say they found the two people responsible for what they call an apparent murder for hire.
I gasped when I saw those faces on the screen during the press conference. I don't know why I gasped, but it was like...
Please don't tell me they didn't talk to them before the press conference.
I'm sure they didn't.
So they finding all this stuff out in the press conference?
Yeah.
Oh.
Here are the people. They are real. And they did a horrific, terrible thing. But at the end of the day, they will have to answer for it.
King was a teacher at Grover Cleveland Elementary School in the Tioga section of Philadelphia. Her parents say she was passionate, funny, very caring, and loved R&B music.
She was a wonderful teacher.
Her parents say they are not looking back and not holding on to any anger following her death.
People have asked if you knew the how, the why, the whens. You know, how important is that to you? And I've told them it really isn't that important because it doesn't change the outcome.
The parents say they are so grateful for all of the support from the investigators to schools, churches, and the entire community. They say they hope to help other families grieving and healing from gun violence. Carrie Corrado, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, now, if that was my daughter, I would have had to go check the bull, the old boyfriend, or the, you know what I mean? Like, you caused my daughter's death, I'm going to have to fuck you up.
Exactly. I agree. And I was going to jump in. I was going to say to listen to what Philip said about the ladies. She should have left him alone. After all that stuff was going down, she should have left him alone. Now, like, she pretty face too. Mm-hmm. She should have left him alone. She could have found another man. It ain't you want to live your life going through that shit for what? She should have left him alone. That woman calling your job and all that shit. That's a sad story there. Like I say, I hope they get that kid counseling, real counseling, not the pastor. All right, so we going to Holmes County, Mississippi, where 33-year-old Carissa Job and 24-year-old Tatiana Day were shot and killed after they went to another woman's house to throw down, playing a stupid game, and they won. They won that stupid game. This is black people living 30 years ago when you can go to somebody's house and fight and all that shit. This 35-year-old woman should have known better. Now, the first clip is the actual they were on Facebook Live, and this is the actual shooting and stuff took place. I don't know if everyone can hear it well, so I'll do a little John Madden commentary on it. But this is the Facebook video.
Shooting that hoe. Put that red light on so I can show where you shooting that hoe.
Now this is one of the ladies that was killed. I don't know which one is. She's the one that's on Facebook Live talking to the people that's in the house here.
That red light on me. Come on, bitch. We pulls the fuck up. What's wrong with you, girl? We on Facebook.
And then one of the other.
Damn, can they clean up out there?
one of the other ladies is sitting on the house, the owner of the house or the person that lives at this house. She's sitting on her car, her truck. I guess trying to force her to come out the house and fight. These
Never
are
pull up to nobody's house.
right. This is a 35-year-old woman. One is 33. I'm sorry. One is 25.
We don't internet thug. We don't motherfucking internet thug. What the hell wrong with you? Get the fuck on. Come on, get the fuck on. Hell. Get the fuck on. Get out that motherfucking truck.
Now the lady of the house is telling them to get the fuck on. So she gave them a warning, and they still standing there.
Get out the goddamn truck. I'm in that motherfucker. Get your ass off my goddamn truck, you. Now.
And that was the lady house said, get off my goddamn truck.
Get off my goddamn truck, T. Get off my truck.
Now, how many times she just warned her to get off her truck?
She got her ass off her truck.
Exactly.
You don't want to move. Don't take Ron in the house and lock that door. Don't take in the house and lock that door. What one you want? You want Tia Coat? Get out of my truck. You want Tia Coat? My y'all just running the fuck out. You want Tia Coat? Get your mommy off your...
Now, there's a kid right there, too, when all this stuff is going on. Now, the lady there, she has a gun. She has the gun out, and she's pointing it to the lady that's sitting on her truck. She still ain't get her ass off that truck. Now, that'd have been your warning right there to get off the truck. She's sitting there with a gun in her hand.
Who you want? Who you want? Who you want? I got one. I got one, bitch.
So there's another lady, I guess another lady at the house there with the lady with a gun in her hand. So she pushed her aside because she was in the shooting
line of fire.
She hit the line of fire, and she pushed her away. Now she about to get it popping, and the lady is still on this woman's truck.
And the girl on the truck talking about, I got one too. What ain't in your hand? You about to catch this one is ready to go right now.
Yep. She got off that truck because that was that gunshot there. That's what killed her. Now it's the other lady who's recording it. Now she's about to start running because the girl got shot.
Things go too.
So she chased her down and shot her too.
Oh, she caught her too?
Yeah, both of them died.
Oh, get the fuck out, Tom. Okay. Get the fuck out. Get out. Go.
Oh, I guess it was somebody else there too. It was more than two people there ready to throw down, and the woman was shooting at them.
Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out, bitch. Okay. Get the fuck out.
All right, so this is the news report of this situation. I tell you, black people are so behind. Back in the day, that's what they used to tell us. No, you got to go over somebody's house and fight them. I wish somebody would
standing outside the house talking about, come on out so we can fight. What?
Right, exactly. So you going to do that to someone who have access to knives, baseball bats, guns.
Right now, when we were kids, it was different because I remember times like that when we were kids. But we talking about adults now, like you said, with access to weapons and shit and guns and shit. You doing that?
Right.
I'm too old for that.
Mm-hmm.
New details tonight about the shooting that happened in Holmes County yesterday afternoon, killing 2 people. And we're going to show you a Facebook Live video from one of the victims yesterday. You can see
now the Facebook video that they're showing is the girl lady that was on the truck. She also was Facebook Live, and those were the 2 women there that she was talking to.
Social media get you killed, boy.
the 2 females arguing at a home on Emory Road just outside of Durant. Moments later, shots were fired between the 2,
kids standing right there.
33-year-old Carissa Job and 24-year-old Tia Tanuna Day dead. Holmes County Sheriff Willie March says this is the 6th.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, no matter how tough and crazy you want to act, as soon as that gun come out and you ain't got no gun, you say, all right, you got it, and you fucking bounce.
Exactly.
Shooting that's happened this month in the county, and it could have been avoided.
This is the most shooting that we have had in Holmes County in 1 month. Usually you'll get.
All right, what's more old school,
I
Leroy
was
or
about,
Willie?
I was just about to say, like, damn, Willie, you don't even
So,
come across as no sheriff.
so Willie is more old school
They
than
about the
Leroy.
same.
uh,
Get six within a year. That's just tell you that everyone
he just got that. His voice is like he just tired of it. He just want to go home and just go to sleep.
now is arming themselves. No one taking the time to talk through that problem. They're not even taking the time to even call law enforcement, which I think that's a mistake.
Now, coming up at 6, we'll have more
Well,
on
she
how.
did talk to her. She told her to get from around here. She told her to get the fuck off her car. Which more talking do you need? I'm like, she did have a comment. She did tell her.
Crime is taking over Holmes County and what Sheriff March is asking residents to do.
Oh, man. I swear, man. Y'all got to start thinking better than that.
Motherfucker say get off their car and they got a gun, you get off their car.
Exactly. And like you said, she got the gun out. You should be like, oh, and just got off the car and just walked away and got in her car and left.
Well, that's our generation. That's how we react. This new generation, they be like, oh, you got a gun. I ain't scared you got a gun. All right. Your ass about to be fucking dead.
Yep.
They keep thinking people won't pull that trigger. If they got the gun, there's a good chance they got. You want to take that risk?
Right. Now, the next report, we go on to Cows Park, Georgia. Police are cracking down on violent crime, prostitution, and dangerous living conditions along Old National Highway. Here's the report. A motel where you can get your freak on. You can get anything you want at this hotel here.
Today, Atlanta police are continuing to crack down on violent crime, prostitution, and dangerous living conditions. Investigators say they accomplished all three last night by shutting down just one business. It's a motel in College Park that police and health officials say is a magnet for crime. Police say many of the units are disgusting, with several of them full of mold, and some of its residents are children. Police tell our John Sherrick it's just one of many businesses they're targeting.
There's not even a sign out front of the business. This is Motel X, as in X-rated rooms for a...
The news is so funny too with this shit. But the name don't have a name on it, but you go and call it Hotel X, Motel X.
Adults only on Old National Highway and I-285. But it is a place of homicides, shootings, thefts, prostitution, police say, where some families with children even live, in dilapidated rooms in back, along with black mold.
I mean, it's horrible because people are only here because they have to be.
Now, do you believe she's getting her freak on in one of these rooms?
I don't want to hear that you're here because you have to be. Your life decisions made you in that situation.
Because they want to be. Most of us, anyway.
Deneen Brand has lived here in her one-room rental with her 4 children for 3 years. They moved...
Well, damn, 3 years?
No, I thought you were going to say, what, damn, 4 children?
Well, hey, look.
You're struggling, lady, so just have one and try to make it work. You're going to have 4? You asking for trouble.
And where are these damn daddies at who got their kids in a damn one-room motel with mold? And then the news is there. The news is here. She got her hair wrapped up, and her damn titties is like about to knock herself over. Look how far hanging down. You would think she was like, oh, well, the news going to interview me. All right, let me go put on a shirt and take this thing off the top of my head.
In here before, she says, the owner installed stripper poles behind the doors painted purple. The motel...
So the purple doors is for your freak on. But he said, fuck the other rooms, and with all the mold and all that shit, I'm gonna clean these motherfuckers up.
Hey, this is where the money at. Them ones that's living there with the 4 children, they probably ain't paying rent. Partial rents and all that type shit.
$20 for 2 hours. Well, damn, you gotta add a little couple of dollars on that.
X website advertising 2 hours for $20, each room complete with a stripper pole, but the business is closed now. Residents still here have until April 27th to move out because of the police raid last week, along with the Fulton County Board of Health.
This hotel's been on our radar for quite a while.
College Park Police.
Okay, you knew about this right a while because you and your boys were going in there, taking y'all girls in there for $20 for 2 hours.
Major Lance Patterson.
Thefts, shootings.
Don't tell me that all this shit was going on, but y'all knew about it, but you ain't do anything about it. Please. Them dudes was in there take their little freak in there and pay $20 for them 2 hours.
Homicides, unfortunately, prostitution concerns.
The Waffle House manager next door.
Oh, you know the Waffle House manager. He was getting it in there, boy. He said, shit, right over this break, I'm going right to Motel X.
The Waffle House was making a killing then.
Yep.
Shit, all them customers coming and going. You know they want to eat.
Yep. And all them prostitutes and stuff, he going in there, he get to talking to one of them like, yeah, all right, yeah, we can go in the hotel. How much?
Roosevelt Ware had to lock his restaurant's doors permanently and take orders for takeout only. He's glad the motel is shutting down. A first step, he said.
Yeah, exactly. He ain't glad. He like, okay, let's just say he didn't go in there, but that's still fucking up business because the motel is closing
right, there's
down.
nothing else over there. So
right.
who's going to just come over to Waffle House when, I mean, you're going to get your regular customers, but with other businesses nearby like that, they looking for food. They're going to come right over there.
Exactly. Now you mean to tell me that big titty woman ain't go to the Waffle House for some breakfast,
lunch and dinner? Like how much cooking can you do in a 1-bedroom at a motel?
Exactly.
To restoring the neighborhood where he grew up to the neighborhood he remembers.
Yeah, it would shut down some of the issues, but you'll hear gunshots at least twice a week. It starts from Thursday on.
Major Patterson says this bust is meant to send a message to the whole neighborhood.
We'll continue to look at other locations in the city where similar complaints are being made, and we'll take similar action.
Right now, we are still working to reach the owner of the motel for comment. He was one of the people cited or arrested during the raid. The city of College Park says they will now be making sure the owner obeys all the codes that apply to his soon-to-be vacant building.
Please, they knew about it all along. Don't give me that. They knew about that shit all along. Yeah, Motel X, you can go and get your freak on, go to the Waffle House afterwards. Shit,
$20 for a room, that's a steal.
No, exactly. That's why, and they said fuck them other rooms with all the mold and all that shit. We just gonna work on these rooms. Those was the money makers.
Yep.
Well, Philip, we talked about this during the week, and you had a lot to say about it. You had a lot to say about WWE boss Vince McMahon hit with a buy suit over scripts. I'm gonna have to read the article. This article is from New York Post. World Wrestling Entertainment ordered up a racially tinged plotline for his scripted matches, including having a Muslim wrestler admit he was responsible for 9/11, and another in which a black wrestler was held in captive in a cage, according to a bombshell lawsuit. Brittany Abrams, a black writer for WWE SmackDown and Monday Night Raw TV series, alleges she was fired last year in retaliation for her complaints about stories pitched with perpetrated offensively racist and stereotypical jargon, according to a lawsuit filed in Brooklyn federal court on Monday. Abrams' racial discrimination suit against the WWE and its controversial leader, Vince McMahon, claims her boss, lead writer Ryan Callahan, pitched the idea of having a Muslim wrestler named Mansoor revealed that he was behind the 9/11 attack. Now, pause, this is me talking. Mansoor is like, damn, he's got to be in his mid-20s. Now, explain to me how the hell was he responsible for 9/11? It's dumb to even bring that up in a pitch meeting.
Yeah.
Mansoor has got to be in his okay, let's just say he in his 30s. That he's still too young. What was you about to say?
It's all scripted entertainment. Who cares what they bullshit storylines say?
No, Philip. See, this your basis of this is that you looking at it as wrestling, and it's not real. But at the end of the day, Philip, it's a job.
It doesn't matter. That would be like when Chappelle had that black role where he was blind, but he thought he was white, doing all the
Clayton
racist
Bigsby.
shit.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. It's entertainment. You know it's not real. And
Yeah.
should we protest about that character and all that shit?
No, because there was no controversy in the writers' room.
Yeah, well, somebody was in their feelings. That's all that was.
Another plot line was to have a black wrestler known as Reggie held captive in cages as he was being hunted by a white wrestler, Shane Thorne, according to a lawsuit. Thorne is Australian, so that was that. I guess they will make him like a Crocodile Dundee type of character, and his hunt was a black dude, and put him in a cage. Abrams says she objected to her superior's racially motivated misconduct, specifically stating that a gimmick where a white man is haunting a black African American man for sport is racist, the suit said. When she voiced her objection to Callahan, he alleged to have laughed and sarcastically replied, "Oh, that's a bad thing," according to court papers. See, this is why I talk about like it's a job. Now I see your point, what you're trying to make, but this is why I say it's a job thing. And you can't be doing that stuff, especially if you're a publicly traded company.
My thing is, if they're sitting in the boardroom or whatever, the script room, trying to come up with different ideas, people are going to throw shit out that you don't like. People are going to agree with shit you don't like. If you don't like the job, quit.
Okay, so why is there always racial stuff? Why I can't just be just like, oh, let's just have him dance?
It was all types of other shit. We had your boy Coco Beware dancing. You had Gold Dust as a gay dude. Like, come on, they always had dumbass scripts.
Coco Beware racist. That's racist also.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I said, but it's all scripted entertainment. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. If you don't feel it's like the script is something that you'll be part of, quit the job. Don't do it.
Another incident involved War Women's champion Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair, everyone, she's very popular now. Who was black, allegedly scripted to say, don't let me take my earrings off and beat your ass. In her court filings, Abram alleged that the line are based upon cruel, ugly stereotypes of dark-skinned black women.
And she got that check for doing it, didn't she? And now it's a problem, and she's probably suing for more money. Come on now.
Well, no, Bianca is not suing. Is just the lady was suing it. Bianca, when she first started, she did do that like that ghetto type, stereotypical, that stereotypical stuff. She doesn't do that now. Well, she's famous now, so she doesn't have to do shit like that no more. They will actually listen to her if she has any type of writing ideals or what she don't like or what she like or don't like stuff. If this go, I don't think. Well, I'll get to this when I'm done. In her court filings, Abrams alleged that the lines are based upon cruel, ugly stereotypes. Oh, I said that. Abrams, who was hired in 2020 and lives in Brooklyn, objected to Callahan about the line. She said, "I know I'm new. I'm not trying to be disrespectful or step on anyone's toes, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Belair's scene includes racial jargon and offensive stereotype, particularly her go home line." Abram alleged to have written it in an email to Callahan. The next day, Belair had written to Abrams that she had told the senior writer 3 different times that I don't want to say that line, but Chris Dunn never listens to me. He puts that line in every week, according to the lawsuit. So Belair did complain about saying that, and they still kept putting it in the line.
She still said it.
Yeah,
she said it.
Yeah, she didn't have a choice.
So they had a gun to her head. What do you mean she didn't have a choice?
Oh, okay. Well, let me
we're not going to see eye on this.
Okay, let me finish. Let me finish. Another alleged pitch scenario involved having a black wrestler, Apollo Crews, who is Nigerian American, speak with a stereotypical and exaggerated Nigerian accent, the lawsuit said. Now, Apollo Crews did do that stereotype where he talked like a Nigerian prince. I think that was his gimmick. He didn't talk like that when he first started. And then they had him doing this Nigerian stereotype. He's Nigerian, of course, but he didn't speak with an accent. Abrams claimed she was fired for taking home a WrestleMania 39 branded chair, even though her other employees did so as well, according to court paperwork. In reality, the incident was used as a pretext to fire her in retaliation for complaints about racial story pitches, according to the
So
document.
she stole.
Philip, what the hell they going
Is
to
that what
take?
you just said? Is that what you just
Oh,
said? She
okay,
stole a
okay.
chair?
Okay, I'm say, okay, you asked the question, I'm gonna answer it. Yeah, she stole a chair, but what they gonna
Okay.
do with a WrestleMania 38 chair,
Okay.
Philip?
It
What they
doesn't
gonna do
matter.
with a
It's still
WrestleMania 38
stealing.
chair?
It's still stealing. If I go to my job and I steal some goddamn toilet paper, some gloves, and get caught, I'm gonna probably get fired. And what the hell I'm gonna do with that?
But what can you do with a WrestleMania 38 chair?
Put it in your house and fucking sell it on eBay. I don't know. The bottom line, she stole it.
Okay, but she said all the other people did it
So
too.
everybody else steal, that makes it okay for you to steal?
Okay, that's going back to Wesley Snipes and everybody was drinking, Lonnie. He fell off.
That's the first thing I thought of too. Yup.
Now see,
I
I
always
understand.
bring that movie up to Shay too.
I understand your point about well, look, it's fake scripted television. Pretty much that's what
It's like
wrestling is. But it's a job, Philip, and
right. So it's almost like a TV show or movies. Those are jobs. So we still have racist movies. We have scripted dumbass TV shows that have racial context and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And stereotypes and shit in it. It's all scripted shit. If you don't like it, just quit the job. Don't do it.
But Philip, okay, you quit the job, and what happens when the next job gonna come along and they say, well, why did you quit?
Because they wanted me to do something that I don't agree with.
Okay, well, you couldn't ask anybody to do anything like that. You can't. That's going to give you a bad reputation.
And you can still stand on your morals if you got morals. Remember, I was telling you how Denzel was talking about when he was a young actor and they tried to make him hang himself or some shit, and he said, "No, I'm not doing it." And then he said, "Well, all right, I'll do that if I can kick in the door and burn a whole bunch of Jews." And then they got offensive about it and left that shit alone. Same shit. If you got morals and standards, stick to it. They can't. Nobody can make you do something like that unless they got a gun in your head. And if you got paid to do it and you sold out to do it, I don't want to hear you complain about it. That's just the way I feel.
They can't, but it's your reputation on the line. If you start going in there, all these people that they mentioned are, well, at the time they were relatively new in WWE. So you can't be in there complaining, making complaints about the script and all that stuff all the time because they're going to consider you a bad seed. Now,
look, I'm not saying going back and forth, complaining, and doing all that. They tell you some dumb shit. You say I'm not doing it, and this is the reason why, and that's the end of it. It ain't got to be no back and forth. I'm not doing it.
It's going to be a back and forth. Now they're going to say, oh well, you a bad seed. Everything we writ for you never want to do, and they would try to bury you because you keep turning down the stuff they writ for you. That's how it goes on the job.
If it's stuff that you don't want to do, don't do it. Don't take the paycheck and then complain about it later.
Tariq talked about, and I forgot all about this one. Tariq talked about Wesley Snipes. Now remember that Blade 3 shit, how they put
the Blade Squad,
they put Ryan Reynolds.
You just got real loud all of a sudden.
Am I the same now or so
you're
loud?
like real loud. I don't know what happened, but it just got real loud.
How
just
about
keep
now?
Going. That's fine. Just keep going. I'll turn my volume down or something.
All right, now they put Ryan Reynolds and what was that? Jessica Biel.
Yes.
They put them in the forefront, and like Blade was like the the star of the movie was like a second tier star. Now remember how they made a complaint about how quote unquote he had a bad attitude on the set and nobody could deal with him. And that lie that he choked the movie director, because remember he sued Universal for that. And they claim that he choked the movie director. Now, do you actually think that this man put his hands around a movie director's neck? So he got that bad reputation, right? So I'm gonna ask you, with that bad reputation, not okay. Also, when that tax situation, remember they tried to say that he was down with Dr. Malachi York in Georgia. What was it called? Nubians or something. And that was like a cult. They tried to act like he was like a part of that cult or whatever during that tax situation. Okay, so he went to jail. He got out and everything. That was years ago when he got out. I want to ask you a question with that bad reputation, sir. The quote unquote bad reputation. Has he ever recovered? Because before you answer, don't forget he was one of the top stars around when all that shit, the Blade shit, and the act like he choked the movie director and all that shit. He's one of the top stars around. So I'm gonna ask you, did he ever recover from that?
See, I don't think that's the reason why he fell off the way he fell. First off, actors fall off anyway. You know what I mean? So if you he had a nice long run as a black star in Hollywood. So you're not going to be there forever. It just that happens. Everybody have their moment to shine, and then they fade away.
So you don't think that had nothing to do with him suing Universal Studios, a movie studio? You don't think him suing Universal Studios had anything to do with
It might.
why he never recovered?
It might play a big part.
Okay, so that's a bad reputation that he's been spinning around. That he's a maniac on the set, and he put his hands on a movie director. No, he choked the coach. He choked him. How about a coach?
Okay, so they said what's the name got a bad reputation about movies too, but he's still making bullshit movies. They're not big time no more because he fell off. Steven Seagal.
Well, that's the reason why. Because
because
he's
old. He got a big belly. Nobody trying to see nobody like that still doing karate.
I think it's a combination of both. I think it is
Jean-Claude drunk all the time on the set and grabbing girls' ass on the set. He fell off. He also old and his time has passed, and you just time to get newer guys in. It's a combination of both.
Yeah, so they both have bad reputations.
Yeah, but that's not what ruined their career. What ruined their career is they got old. They can't do it.
No, I think
these are action guys. I named two action guys. You named the one action guy. These are action guys. Most action guys, they have a certain time frame in Hollywood before they fall off.
Because what's that lady's name on? She did that show with Vivica Fox. I guess it's still going on. And she said that she was on a movie set, and she said that Steven Seagal almost raped her. So stuff like that gets around, and nobody will want to deal with you.
Right, but he still, when he was young, he still was one of the top action guys in Hollywood when all that stuff was going on. He didn't fall off because of that stuff. He fell off because he got old and fat.
No, I believe it's a combination of both. I believe the bad reputation and he's not in shape. Jean-Claude Van Damme is in shape, and he was known to be like an asshole, and people stopped dealing with him.
They stopped dealing with him because he got old.
But there's a lot of people old that's in action movies. Tom Cruise is old, and he's in action movies, and he's jumping out of airplanes and all that shit. Tom Cruise has got to be damn near 60 now.
Yeah, but that's different type of action because those guys are fighting where Tom Cruise is doing like stunt doubles and hand-to-hand stuff. He's not doing like karate shit.
Well, they can do
Tom Cruise can pull out a gun most of the time, and even when they do the fight scenes, you can look at those fight scenes and now and see that there's like some what do you call it extra graphic shit going on. It's not just them fighting.
Well, movies
they
today
didn't have that back in the day.
Okay, movies today ain't hand-to-hand combat anyway. How many American movies you see with hand-to-hand combat?
But those guys was hand-to-hand combat guys.
Okay, so you mean to tell me if Jean-Claude didn't have that bad reputation, and Tom Cruise is 60 years old, so I'm assuming Jean-Claude is around there, maybe older, and he's still in shape or whatever. He still looks believable, and he didn't have that bad reputation. So you mean to tell me he can't do the same movies Tom Cruise done?
No.
Yes, he could. Why couldn't? Oh, what about the other dude? He ain't in shape at all. The one that hate black people. The one that wanted to beat up a black.
He don't hate black people. He don't do those type of movies. He don't do karate or kung fu or nothing like that.
But he do action movies though.
Yeah.
All right. So why can't Jean-Claude do those movies?
No, nobody want to see him. His time is past.
How is his time past? And Tom Cruise time ain't passed? He been making movies since the 80s.
Right, but Tom Cruise had the ladies loving him, so that's what drawed his box office like that. So that's different.
So you don't think his reputation have nothing to do with him not being in movies?
You keep saying like you trying to put words in my mouth. I never said nothing to do with it, and I said it might play a part. That's not saying he had nothing to do with it. It might play a part in that. But for those guys, Wesley Snipes, Jean-Claude Van Damme, what's the other dude? Steven Seagal. Their time is past. It's time for newer roles. Now, if see, what's the name was versatile at one point. What's my man Nino Brown and shit. So if he would have stayed on that tip, he might have been all right. But all that fighting and stuff, that's what kind of people got tired of.
And going back to this WWE lawsuit, this isn't going to trial. They're going to settle this because you don't want those people to be called in to the court and tell them what was going on. So that's going to make WWE look bad, especially with this deal they got going on with Endeavor. So they will
It's not
settle
going to make
this
them look
case.
bad.
Yes, it will
They
because
definitely going to settle, but it's not going to change anything. Like I just
it,
saw no, go ahead.
well, you have to keep in mind that WWE was sold to Endeavor. Endeavor is a publicly traded company, so they can't. You want all this racial shit going on
It's
with
going
a
to fly
business
right
that you
under the
just bought?
radar.
I don't think so, and especially if Bianca Belair is one of the top attractions in WWE. They get her on in a chair, and they ask her, "Did this stuff really happen?" And she say, "Yeah, that happened."
No, because
So
when they
you don't think
settle,
that's
when they settle, they're gonna have a non-disclosure. Not don't talk about this shit, and he'll give y'all money.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a non-disclosure and settle.
And
That's why I said it ain't going to trial.
and that's why I said they ain't even gonna talk about it. It's gonna go right under the water, and they're gonna keep on moving like it never happened.
Yeah, because it ain't going to trial. They're going to settle it, and this Abrams is not going to be able to discuss it.
Right, and so that's not going to ruin their reputation.
No, I said it'll ruin a reputation if they go to court, but they're not going to go to court. They're going to
Well, that's
settle.
what most big companies do. That they settle, and then it doesn't ruin their reputation. They keep it moving. I just read a big lawsuit about Pennsylvania hospital. You know what I mean? And they got in trouble, and they got awarded from a jury like 128 million for like a kid being born with cerebral palsy. It was like a medical malpractice. I'm like, this thing right now, that's like the top employer in Philadelphia.
Right.
Now you would think this would be all over the news and over there. It ain't nowhere on the news, but it just happened. So a story like that should be everywhere, but they big time like that. They can keep it out of the people's faces and shit.
Well, on some sports talk, let's talk about the NFL draft. I'm going to tell you, let's just say 4. We only go to 4 rounds. I'll name the people, and you tell me what your views on the pick. Okay, we're gonna start off with round 1. Pick number 9. The Eagles selects Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia.
Hold on. Now, how do you want me to on a scale of like 1 to 10, like rating these people, or am I doing ABC on that grade?
Whatever you feel. If you want to do ABC, if you want to.
Okay.
All right, so round 1, pick number 9. Eagles select Jalen Carter, defensive tackle from Georgia, 6'3", 314 pounds. Now, before Philip give his his grade, Jalen is he's not. I'm thinking the case is going to be civil, right? He's not in a criminal charge for being in that illegal street race, right?
I don't know all the details.
Okay. All right. So, what's your grade?
I'm gonna give that let's say without all the street shit. Let's just say nothing happened to him with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a player. I'm gonna give him an A for that.
Okay. So the next pick. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to say that the Eagles traded down 1 pick because they had number 10, but they got number 9 and got Jalen Carter. All
so
right.
It's traded up.
Traded up, I'm sorry. Next pick is still a first round. Pick number 30. The Eagles select Nolan Smith, edge rusher from Georgia, 6'2", 238 pounds.
I would like him to be a little bit heavier. So he's probably not gonna be an edge rusher. He's probably gonna play linebacker, but I would give that a B+.
Okay. All right. Round 3. The Eagles select Tyler Steen, offensive lineman, Alabama, 6'6", 321 pounds.
You said 320?
21, yes.
21. That's a weak pick. It was still talent out there, so I'm going to give that probably a D.
Okay. So we still in the 3rd round. 66 pick. The Eagles select Sidney Brown, safety, Illinois.
That's a good pick. I'm going to give that a B.
All right. So why he lasts to the 3rd round?
Same way Jalen Hurts lasted to the 2nd round. Shit happens. People. Sometimes scouts just don't pay attention to people. You know what I mean? Sometimes people just don't fall, but they just not on people's radar. He's a good player, and that defense that they had, that defense was killer. We got 4 of them on our team, 5 of them.
Yes. N'Kobe, don't forget him.
Mm-hmm.
This is like Georgia Jr.
Yeah, and if they all play together, they know like their tendencies and they can gel together. Plus, they're N'Kobe Dean and the dude we drafted are like best friends. So all those guys are real tight units. So they're going to love playing with each other. So they might perform better.
Mm-hmm. And the final pick, 4th round, pick number 105. I'm gonna mess this guy's name up. Is it Keegley Ringo? Cornerback, another Georgian, 6'2", 207 pounds.
I think it's Keeley. How you spelling it?
Kelee.
Yeah, like Keeley.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They saying that's a steal. I don't know much about him, but again, like I said, that's a top school, and I needed us to tighten up our secondary. So cool. I'm not really fond of late picks. So to me, like in the NFL, your first 3 rounds is where you get your starters and your talent. After that, everybody else is just role players. So I don't really care. But I think this guy got a chance to be good.
Okay, so we be remiss if we don't mention that the Eagles traded for DeAndre Swift from the running back from the Detroit Lions. What are your thoughts on this pick?
When he came out, he was like the number 2 pick in the draft, and he's real fast and got skills. My only problem is he's always hurt, and you know how I feel. I hate trading for people that's always hurt. So the both running backs that we pick up is always hurt. So my brother loved the draft. He loved the 2 running backs we picked up, and I said, well, they always hurt. He agreed with me, but he said one of them got to stay healthy.
Well, I think that the Eagles is going to go back to what we talked about before about the running backs getting catches, because that was the Eagles thing, and all of a sudden they stopped doing it. I don't know why, but
That was your play caller, because Miles Sanders was catching. He had like 500-600 yards the year before last year,
right?
And then they just stopped using them. They stopped the little running back screens. They used to kill teams.
Yeah,
he's fast. You can do that with him, but they just gave up on it.
But I'm thinking that's why they got DeAndre for
They what they're going to do is they're going to do like a running back by committee, and I hate that. I like to have a lead back and then have other backs that can help back him up. That's the way it's supposed to be. But with this running back by committee, you're going to have 4 running backs. Whoever got the hot hand, that's what they'll stick with for the game, like that. And there's nothing wrong with that when it worked.
Right. Well, some Sixers talk. The Sixers play the Boston Celtics on Monday, right?
Yes.
Is that during the daytime, or is that one of these games is going to be on like 3-4 o'clock? I'm not really sure if it's this one or not. Well, our boy
7:30.
Oh, okay. All right. I don't know. One of these games coming up is going to be on real early.
It was a game more early today. Was all the games, like you got Miami playing right now, and then the next game you got Golden State at 3:30.
Well, your boy Embiid is questionable. Is he still questionable or just not playing at all?
He's doubtful, so he's probably not playing.
Okay. Now, my thoughts on Embiid is I have never seen a big man, all the big men, dominant big, but we can call Embiid a dominant big man, right?
Yes.
All right. I've never seen the dominant centers, big man centers, fall on the ground so much as this guy do.
Dang.
He flip-flop and bop, always rolling on the ground and falling on the ground and all that stuff. Who is talking to this guy? Big as you are, you shouldn't be rolling on the ground like that. That's why you get hurt so much.
And I was going back and forth. I don't know if you can see it on Twitter with Danny, because you know Danny, that's his boy.
Yeah.
So he said I'd be a fool to trade Embiid, and we starting over. I said, well, if we go out in the second round again, what has it gotten us? He's like, man, we've been one of the best teams with Embiid. You don't want to get one, really? We ain't won shit since he been here.
Yep.
I don't care about his MVP. Yeah, it's great that he won MVP. He plays hard out in the regular season. But then when I threw up them numbers, they're showing like last year Embiid averaged 30 points a game in the regular season. When the playoffs rolled around, he averaged 23 in the playoffs and was playing hurt. So that's his reason why his numbers was down. And then this year, he averaged 33 in the regular season and only 20 in the playoffs. All his numbers is down. Like even his 3-point percentage is like 12% last year in the playoffs. And then this year in the playoffs is like, what was it? Like fucking 22%, where he's normally a good 3-point shooter in the regular season. So like all his numbers go down, his scoring go down, his turnovers go up. And the thing is, he's hurt. So yeah, that can affect it. But damn, how many years in the playoffs we got to deal with it? I'd rather you take it easy in the regular season, fuck that MVP, all that shit, but you 100% healthy for the playoffs.
Right.
but he just as bad as Kawhi Leonard. You can't depend on those type of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
And if we go out in the second round, like I said, the coach should get fired. Harden will probably bounce, and then B still got value, so I would trade him while you can get something for him.
Yeah, if you wanted to make that move, this is the time to make that move now because it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get any better. Just like the coworker said. But go ahead.
Well, Danny said, we got years of healthy Embiid on the way or some shit.
Yeah, right.
I said,
He's 30, right?
Yeah, he'll be 30 next year, I think.
Okay, a 30 year.
Well, that's what I said. I said, what player that's always hurt going to get healthy when they get older? More injuries going to come worse.
Exactly. Yeah, this is the time. If he won an MVP, I don't know. Well, the coworker said just get anybody for him, draft picks, whatever. But I don't know anybody out there that I could just see trading Embiid for.
You got to find another disgruntled player that want to roll, and then you could probably get him. Like, you might be able to get what's the name? Portland's guard, Lillard.
Damian.
Might be able to get Lillard.
Okay, so Harden is going, and we take Leonard.
Yeah.
Ooh,
that's what you got to do. You got to find somebody that's trying to get out of their situation.
Right.
So you know what I mean? And the money got to be up there. So it got to be like a top tier paid player for another top tier paid player.
Yeah. Sheesh. I don't know about that one. Because
I would do it, but that's only if Harden is going. And if Harden is still here, then I wouldn't do it because I don't have enough guards as it is.
Right. Okay. Now let's just say Harden is here, and you want to trade Embiid. Who would you trade him for?
Well, I wouldn't make that trade.
Yeah, you want to make that trade, but who would you trade him for?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You got to look around the league and see like who you could grab for him.
Mm-hmm.
You got, like I said, you got to find somebody. I don't know like who's going to be available, who's disgruntled, who's trying to bounce. So I don't know. You might be able to get trying to think. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Because even if you match him up and say like AD, do you want AD? Shit, he just like Embiid.
No.
He always damn hurt.
Yeah, you might as well stay with what you had.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's a hard one there. Yeah.
But you can't keep him because if you keep him, you're going to be in the same boat. He's going to have a monster regular season. When the playoffs roll around, he's going to be hurt, and you're going to get knocked off in the second round. Like it's like, do you think we can beat that Celtic team? That Celtic team is loaded.
Yes. I'm about to say the Eagles. The Sixers have no bench. Sixers have no bench like that, and no, they ain't competing with Boston. It's they're out of there. And I to be honest with you, I want them going because Doc Rivers got to go.
Yeah, he's trash. He's been trash for a while too.
Yes, and I'm also say the GM has to go. Also, is Elton Brand? He's not the GM. What is Elton Brand? He's like assistant to the GM, right?
Yeah, he's like a team consultant or something. He's not the GM. He's like the team consultant. The GM is that guy that got Harden
from Houston.
Harden.
Yeah, from Houston. So my thing is, what have you added other than Harden? What have you added? And Harden's good, but you have no bench. And how are you going to compete with Boston and teams of that nature? Not just with Harden, it ain't going to work.
Mm-hmm. The only way we can win, we need like a monster performance from Embiid, Harden, and Maxey, like damn near every night.
Yeah,
and Maxey can't play defense, so that's what's going to mess him up because he's good offensively, but he ain't going to be able to stop Jaylen Brown or none of them guys.
Right.
He's too little. He's like light in the pants, and he's small.
Mm-hmm. And Harris got to go too, but he made too much money, so you stuck with him.
You wanted to buy him out because you're gonna ride that till the wheels fall off.
Oh yeah. And I bet you he probably have no trade clause in his contract.
Probably fucking riding high.
Yep.
He the damn highest paid on the team and shit.
Mm-hmm. And everything he does, he doesn't do anything like great. Everything is like middle of the road.
Right.
just like how you said my running. That's Tobias's game.
If Tobias can step his game up just a little bit, he got it in him to be like a 40-point scorer, a 90% free throw shooter, and 40% 3-point shooter. So it's like 40-40-90 is like a real good number thing.
Right.
And there's only like a rare company of players that can do that. He got it in this game. His numbers is close, but he's not aggressive enough, and he don't shoot enough more. He don't get enough rebounds. He don't get enough assists. If he can get 5 rebounds, the dude is like 6'8". You can't get 5 rebounds.
Yes.
5 rebounds. Get 5 assists. You know what I mean? God damn, dude. Like, he just out there.
Mm-hmm.
And what's his name brings zilch to the table. I don't know how he got paid.
Who's this?
PJ Brown. Man, this guy go like 10 games in a row with 2 points and 1 rebound. I'm like, how you play 35 minutes and got 2 rebounds?
As big as you are.
Fucking power forward.
Yep.
And everybody kept saying that what's the name? We couldn't play with him because he didn't score. Well, here you got a guy that's not scoring, not rebounding, not getting assists. Shit, you could have put Ben in that role. He'd have did more than PJ.
Yep. I'd have stayed with Ben. Yep. I think I would have, because I don't know. Do you think he's really hurt?
Who, Ben?
Yeah. Because remember how you saying that his back and all that shit during the season?
I think he could have played. I think he was hurt, and then I think he recovered at the end, but it was like, you know what, we're just going to shut him down. It is what it is.
Well, all right. If he was hurt, if I'm the Sixers and he was really hurt, I would have shut him down for this season. And come back the next season. I wouldn't have had him play.
Well, that's what they did. That's what they did.
Right.
So when one of the doctors talked to me about Ben, he's like, what you think? His career is over or what? I said, well, next year is his make or break year, because now he got no reasons to be coming to the season hurt because he didn't play, all these games. So they gave him time to recover. So he's way past his window of time to recover. He got time to work on his game. He got time to do something. So next year is his. He's like, well, you said that this year. I said, no, I never said this year would be his make or break, because he was coming off an injury. He was coming off all that head case shit and mental shit. I said, so next year is the year that he don't got no mental problems going on now. I mean, unless it's still hanging around that he's scared to shoot, but you don't have that, like, the media all driving him, fucking with him and shit.
Right.
He had time to chill. He got time for his back to recover. So next year is make or break year.
Right. Well, all right, y'all. You can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok and YouTube at pnljudgementals. Instagram at the_judgementals, or you can email us at pnljudgementals@gmail.com. All right, Phil.
All right, man. Peace out.
That's why I stay on the low. Most of y'all is associates, so I be on my dolo. Hold up, whoa, hold the phone. You think all I do is rap? I can do it on my own. That's why I produce the track. Don't wonder where my crew is at. They'll be back. Niggas see me walking on the block.